Hello everyone, I'm Kim and welcome to my sewing room. I hope you're all really well and are having a lovely day. It is absolutely gorgeous here in the UK today. The sun is out and it is making you think about what's to come. We're obviously launching into spring and summer and the nicer weather, and all these ideas are dancing around in my head of the things that I'm going to make, and I can't wait. But before I get carried away, I'm going to go over all of the things I've made this week. So I have been quite productive. But before I launch into all of those, I'll stand up and just go through what I'm wearing. So I've got on Butterick's 6747 shirt, made up in Lady McElroy Catwalk cotton lawn, been fabric matched in the front, nice and cool, lovely simple shirt, and I've matched them up with a pair of Seaforth pants with the zipper in the front. So yeah, love my Seaforth pants. So mentioning Seaforth pants, I actually made another pair this week. So I did a batch cutting session a couple of weeks or months ago where I cut a few pairs of these out because I'm trying to incorporate more solid colours into my wardrobe, and also I'm desperate for things like trousers and skirts. So I've started working on all of the Seaforth pants. So this is my next pair, and I've made these up in this beautiful navy blue, and the Seaforth pants have these zippered pockets which I absolutely love. They're a real feature for me and I get drawn to these pants all the time. They do have two patch pockets on the back, but it is these zipper pockets that I really like. I've made these up in Bengaline, and I haven't used Bengaline fabric before, and when I was researching it I did think it sounded like the perfect trouser fabric actually, so I bought some and I was so confident that they would make up really nice trousers that I bought it in this navy and also a brown. But when it came through, I think I was a little bit concerned that they would be too heavy because the fabric feels quite sturdy. The composition is 220 grams per square metre, so it's a nice weight. And the composition is 77% viscous, 20% nylon and 3% elastane. They do have, you know, with the elastane, they have a nice stretch with good recovery. And when I made them up, I didn't know how they would feel wearing them, but they actually feel really nice wearing them, because even though they are a sturdier fabric, when they're on they are very soft, very comfortable because of the elastane. And I feel quite excited to actually finish off the brown one of these, because then I will have two really nice pair of Seaforths in my wardrobe. I would just say that Bengaline, the elastane actually runs down the length of the fabric. So when I cut these out, I had to cut them on the cross grain in order to get the stretch going around my body, so that obviously when I sat down I got the stretch across my stomach and my bottom, you know, where you need it. So that's the only thing you need to be aware of when using Bengaline, and I have, as you'd expect, I've written it on my project sheet for next time. So those are finished. They feel beautiful on, a joy to wear, so I'm quite excited to make the next pair. So they were a success. So the next thing I finished, so these were a slow make and they were a pair of socks. So I've finished, really these are the last pair of socks that I will knit until I start sock knitting again in the autumn. And these are just a pair of vanilla socks. So for those that don't do sock knitting, vanilla socks are just plain socks. There's nothing special about them at all. They just have a ribbed top, a leg, a heel, a foot and a toe. And all I have done with these is used up some scrap yarn that I had from previous socks that I've knitted up. So it just gave me an opportunity to use some of those scrappy pieces up and just to make a nice different pair of socks. So these will go in the wash and be put away until sock wearing season comes into play again. So lovely pair of socks finished. So I'm glad to have got them done, because that means now I can concentrate on hand sewing in the evenings. So right, so I've got a big smile on my face because I finished my Queen of Diamonds quilt. So here she is in her entirety. So I say finished my quilt, I haven't finished her completely, I've just finished the topper. So she has been a labour of love. I have thoroughly enjoyed hand sewing all of the feature diamonds and then machine sewing the borders and the sashing on. So what I'm going to do is I will put up here all of the videos I've taken of the quilt and each of the feature diamonds, whilst I waffle on a little bit more about her, because this subscription, and I haven't done one of these before, this subscription started in June 2023. So I bought a program where you sign up for the quilt pattern, paper pieces, the acrylic templates and the fabric, and obviously the pattern. And then I waited 6 months for the pattern, the paper pieces and the acrylics to arrive. And then in the following June, in the June of 2024, the program started. So my designated fabric supplier was Lovely Jubbly Fabrics, and each month they sent me a fabric bundle, and I just then followed the instructions in the manual. So you got the opportunity to hand sew each feature diamond up. Sometimes there were 2 or 3 diamonds to sew up each month, but they were sewn up using the EPP, which is English paper piecing method. So it was a really slow process, and that ran for a year. So over the 12 months you built up all of the feature diamonds, and once they were completed, the next stage was to then add the borders around each of the feature diamonds on the sewing machine, and then the white sashing would then bring all of those feature diamonds together so that you finished your quilt top. So that's the stage I'm at now. So what I will do is I will look for a local long arm quilter to literally quilt the top of my topper, and then when that comes back I will then bind her. But obviously I will take you along the journey once we get to each of those stages. So I am so pleased with her. I have really enjoyed it. I hit a few bumps along the way with, you know, running out of a bit of fabric, which I really struggled to find a additional fabric for, but I found it. And also running out of fabric again for the sashing, but there was plenty of that out there, so I got that done. And also the quilt, for some reason, most people who have stitched up this quilt had a real problem with one of the corners, me included. So I really had to just read all of the advice online and take my time and finish that quilt, and I did, and I am just so excited that she's finished. And when you get that excitement, you do think, oh god, you know, I want to make another one. And I really do want to make another one, because I have all the paper pieces and the acrylic templates and the pattern. So if I wanted to make one up, I could literally start all over again from the beginning. But I'd have to make it up in different fabrics, because Tulip Pink has, I suppose she just doesn't run her ranges of fabrics long term. They have their life, and then they seem to be replaced by a new collection. So if I was going to make this up again, I'd probably have to pick my own fabrics. But it has been a joy making this quilt with Tulip Pink fabrics, because they are so beautiful and they are so vibrant, and I followed the pattern to the T. I didn't go off tangent at all, and I feel privileged to have made up this quilt, and it's going to look absolutely beautiful once it's finished, but that is yet to come. So I hope you've enjoyed the pictures, and I'm so glad to get her finished. Actually, she has been quite it has been quite a long journey making her up so far. So what else have I been up to this week? Well, I've had a really funny one actually, because my son asked me to make a extension to his pet cover. So basically he's got a new car, and in the boot of his car, so those in America, that is a trunk. So in the boot of his car he has this pet protector cover which covers the whole of the interior of his boot, and when he pulls out the end bit, it doesn't cover the end of his car, and he was worried that when his dog got in and out of the car that he might accidentally scratch the paintwork on the outside of the car. So he asked me whether I would make an extension. So when I looked at it, I thought it's not a difficult thing at all. So I said, yes, I'll make it for you. And he was going on holiday. So I said, give me the cover, you go on holiday, and then when you come back, it will be done. And that's exactly what I did. So I went in pursuit of some fabric. So I found this company called AE Market, who sell some fabulous fabric. I wanted some waterproof canvas. So let me find the canvas. So this is the canvas that I bought, and when it came through, it was actually exactly, it just felt it was exactly the same as the original protector cover that he already had in the boot of his car, and it's waterproof, so it's got a nice waterproof backing to it. So all I did was I cut a rectangular piece that would fit onto his original cover, and I will put some footage of it up so you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully it will make more sense. And I just cut a rectangular shape and rounded off the edges, stitched it like the original, and just put some black binding around it. It was a really easy make. But my God, he was so grateful, because he worried so much about his car being scratched. Because like anybody, you know, if you've got a new car, you really wouldn't want it to be scratched within weeks of owning it. So he was really pleased, and I quite enjoyed making it because it was something different, and you just had to put a little bit of thought behind it, and he was so grateful. And the nice thing about the company, AE Market, was they offered 2 free samples for every order. So I took them up on that opportunity. So I ordered 2 samples of other fabrics. I just really wanted to see what they were, because do you remember a few weeks ago I said that I was going to make my husband a replacement toiletry bag, and I still haven't made it because I couldn't find anything to make it up with the fabric that was already in my room, and I felt I needed something that was a little bit more manly. So this is his grotty old toiletry bag, which I'm trying to replicate. So it's not a difficult make at all. I've seen quite a few videos with these sort of things being made, so I thought that's not the problem. I need to find the appropriate fabric. So I got my 2 free samples from AE Market, and one of them was this what's it called, grained heavy duty waterproof leatherette, and I just thought this was so nice. It's got a really nice, well, it's a beautiful colour to start with, and it's got this textured look about it, and he really liked the colour, so I thought that's a start, because I could order some of this and just replicate the bag, and just find some appropriate zippers, and we're done. So that is definitely in my list of things to make. And the other sample I bought was, well, I didn't buy it, I got free, was this floral faux leatherette, and it is beautiful. You can see the pattern there, and both of these samples, they come in lots of different colours. So I've just picked 2 colours. I love red, and I just thought this was really nice and would make up probably a really nice bag. So I will go back on to AE Market and buy some of this fabric straight away for the green, because I know that I have a project in mind for that. But once I decide what handbag I want to make, I will definitely use one of these floral leatherette pieces, because I just think it's just so nice. It's different. I really like that. So they were the 2 free samples. So I was really pleased with those. So I found a new supplier, so I will put that name into my Trello app, so that when I'm looking for things like canvas and waterproof fabrics or leatherette in the future, I have a supplier that I will go to first of all. So that was quite a good find for me. So before I move on to more future sewing plans, I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to Debbie and Peggy. Debbie and Peggy, thank you so much for your Ko-fi donations. You're the first people who have bought me a Ko-fi or a coffee, and I was blown away by them. You're very generous, and I do appreciate you actually making a donation. I don't even know really what to call them, but it was so nice to see the notifications come up and your kind messages. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So sewing plans going forward. Well, I have a little bit of a dilemma, because my Benina is desperate for a service. I've had my machine now for 4.5 years, and she hasn't had a service, and she needs a service. She's starting to play up a little bit, and it's all my fault, because I should really have her serviced more regularly, and I really wasn't too sure how often she should be serviced, and now I'm aware that it should be an annual thing. She's long overdue, so she will need to be serviced at some point, and I'm hoping to get her in as quickly as I can, because I have pre-recorded some videos that will fall under the pattern matching series. So I'm hoping whilst those are running, I can get my machine serviced and back in action, so that I can continue my weekly videos without any interruption. So, but I will obviously keep you updated. So if you have enjoyed the content of this video, it would be lovely if you could give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, it'd be lovely if you could. Well, I will see you all very soon. Take care.